Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for being here with me today. My name is Lily, and I'm so happy that you are here with me. I hope you are all having a wonderful holiday season. Merry Christmas. In today's video, I am going to do a flip through of 4 new junk journals. These I have just recently completed out of the 13 Christmas journal series that I've been working on for a couple months. These right here total 12. There is still one more in the series that I have not finished, but I have different plans for that one. So we're not even going to talk about that one right now. Right now, we're going to focus on these 4, and I am going to start with this one. I have called this one Reindeer and Sleigh Christmas Junk Journal. All of these junk journals will be listed in my Etsy shop, and these will be the last 4 junk journals that you will find in my Etsy shop for this year. Specifically Christmas junk journals. I do have others in the shop, but the last 4 Christmas junk journals of the season, oh my gosh, can you believe it? I am sharing here the foundation of all of these junk journals starts with packaging, either box packaging, food and non-food packaging. And it starts off like this. So basically junk. And though I do use all kinds of different elements in my junk journals, the base of it all does start with junk, and it is packaging. And each one, however, is layered. It has multiple layers of cardstock, heavy cardstock, and then the topper is made from a repurposed gift box packaging, like a shirt box packaging. And I'm going to pull one and bring it in and show you what I'm talking about. So this is a gift box, and it is 10 by 10. These are gift boxes that I have purchased this year for use in future junk journals, maybe 2023. And also I plan on using them in part of my gift giving, of course, because after all, they are gift boxes. So those are all the layers that make up the cover, both the inside cover and the outside cover. So there's probably about 4 or 5 layers to make the junk journal cover nice and sturdy. And oh my gosh, it feels so good in my hands, you guys. So nice. Each of the junk journals features gold machine stitching all around the perimeter of the front and then the back as well. You'll see book corners on all 4 corners of the junk journal, 2 in the front and 2 in the back. They all have a 2-inch spine, which has been covered with some beautiful holiday fabric. And then each one will also have a hinge clip that has a little bow on it, and then a cute little wooden dangle. And these are removable, and I just attach them with that cute little hinge clip. This one here is store-bought, and then I added 2 of those wooden beads. So if you were to take it apart, the wooden beads would slide off. They're not permanently attached. But if you don't like to have the dangle, or you feel that the dangle might be in the way, you can easily remove it just by taking it or removing it from that hinge clip. The back features some heavy craft scrapbooking cardstock on the back, and then also machine stitched all the way around. It is so beautiful. I love the bird's eye view of the junk journals. It is my favorite feature. I love how they fan out, and you're able to see all the wonderful goodness that makes up these junk journals. Look at that, just beautiful. It's like it becomes your biggest fan. No pun intended. So every single paper clip that is in this junk journal has a little ribbon or some type of fiber attached to it. And you'll see that as we go through all of the pages. There are 4 journals. In this one, I'm going to be a lot more thorough with all of the details. And then the other 3, I will just kind of go through the pages so you can kind of take a look at all of the beauty within. The inside of the spine is also lined with more beautiful holiday fabric. And then the inside cover has been lined with this beautiful red heart foil scrapbooking paper. And these are really good quality scrapbooking papers, nice and sturdy, to give it some firmness, some strength to the junk journal covers. The front features a pocket, which is acetate with some red velvet flocking, and it has been die cut with an old Stampin' Up! Die called Note. And then I've just tucked in a couple of pretty tags that I have die cut from a Tim Holtz die. Each one of my journals features one of my signature little houses, and these are so cute. They are actually pockets, but they look, or they mimic the look of a cute little Christmas house or a gingerbread house. And I like to include one of these little Christmas house envelope pockets to the first page of every junk journal, and I do so by attaching it to a paper clip. When you open the roof part of this little pocket, it's you'll see the actual pocket, because these are made from envelopes, you guys. And I do have several videos, and I will have all of that information linked down below. Several videos where I show you how to make these. The most popular ones that that has been viewed is the little Christmas house pockets, and all of those will be down below. I also have a playlist that talks about and shows you nothing but little house envelope pockets. So I'm really proud of these little houses made from envelopes. So I hope you enjoy watching those videos and also making some of your own. So I have included one of those in every junk journal just as you open it. I think it's a really nice addition and a nice feature to my junk journals. I've also included a prayer card from my stash in all of the junk journals. Every pocket in these journals has been machine stitched. However, they have been glued to the pages, but they do have machine stitching. I just love that look. I love the texture, just the overall look of the machine stitching in junk journals. And here I embellished it with a coffee dye doily and a little Christmas Santa hat that's just been held on with a paper clip, and it is removable. So if you want to remove the doily and the tag, you can do so. I have grouped together 3 different size tags from a Tim Holtz tag die, and you've got a number 8, number 5, and a number 2 size tag. I've also punched out a star and then tied it together with some beautiful trim, and then added a garment pen with a little jingle bell to it. A lot of the pages that make up the journals are from my own scrapbooking paper stash, and you'll see an array of papers, lots of vibrant and beautiful papers throughout the journals. I made this little mini envelope also from a Tim Holtz die, and it was a die set that was released late summer this year, July or August of this year. Tim Holtz released a big like Sizzix line, and so this is part of it. It's a mini envelope die, also with a couple of note cards, also dyed from that same set. One of the nice little features of these mini envelopes is the option to cut out a window, which I have done, and I've added some acetate, embellished it with a candy cane sticker and some Tim Holtz words. And then I just clip it over the top of that page with a little paper clip. It was missing some ribbon, so I just quickly added that. If there are any missing, I will stop and add the little ribbon to the paper clips. These little scraps of paper, I turned them into presents. And they are just scraps from all of the papers that I've used for the junk journals. Cut them into varying square sizes and rectangles, embellished with some washi tape, added a little bow, and made my own little presents. And now I use them as embellishments in the junk journals, and added some Tim Holtz words just to make that little corner tuck nice and festive. Added a tag into that pocket. This is a coin envelope, which is also die cut from the Tim Holtz Sizzix release from earlier this year. And I'm not going to take the little note cards out of there, because inside I've added some sequins and some little glitters, almost to mimic the look of a shaker card or a shaker pocket, but it's not completely sealed. I've just clipped it together with that cute little paper clip. But I love the look of that faux shaker pocket. This is note paper from my own personal stash. I have used this note paper in my own personal junk journaling from Christmases past. And I like to document and make lists in these. And so I've included 2 of them in each journal. This one just happens to be paper clipped over that page. This is a cute little door die. I've dyed from red glitter paper. Also added a wreath and a bow from a Tim Holtz die. Added a little gem as a doorknob. Left the top unglued to use as a pocket for that tag. Super, super cute. Every journal will have one of those cute little doors. I just love them. I've been adding them in all of my junk journals. I just love them so much. It's such a cute little feature to have that little door open and find a cute little tag in there for some, private journaling, maybe something you don't want to be as obvious for anyone that you invite to look through your Christmas journal. I love these cute little house tags. I found these early in the season at Dollar Tree, and I only found one package, or else, believe me, I probably would have bought 10 of them. They're inexpensive tags from Dollar Tree, but so cute. And then here I have included a journaling card, which I have made from mixed media paper, and I stamped an oddball stamp, Christmas Tree Girl from Stamping Bella Stamps, some of my favorite stamps recently that I have just discovered. And so I know I kind of went through that page really quick, but you'll see it in the other junk journals as well. So I've stamped it with archival ink so that you can go in and color it and embellish it with either watercolors or pencils or markers. It is mixed media paper, so it will hold whatever media you choose to use, or leave it black and white if that's what you choose to do as well. So yes, a lot of these pages, or the majority of these scrapbooking papers, came from my own personal scrapbooking paper stash. There are a few papers that I did purchase from paper pads at Joann's and at Hobby Lobby. Because I don't have a lot of holiday paper, I did go and I purchased a couple of paper pads. Not too much, because I do have a lot of paper that I have made work and to use as holiday papers. I used birthday pads and just all kinds of random different designs, and it just works really well. This wreath was also made from a Tim Holtz die from his Christmas release. So cute. And I've just embellished with some gems and then added a cute little bow. And then there's also a pocket, a little cluster tuck there in that center page that holds a Rolodex card and a cute little Christmas tag. That Rolodex card was die cut from a Heidi Swap die, which I've had for several years. I love making and working with Rolodex cards. In fact, in my orders, I always include a Rolodex card, which I have made as my business card. And I have videos showing you how I do that as well. So if you like working with Rolodex cards, I do have videos in my channel. And I invite you to go and watch those. These are old vellum quote cards that I've had for many, many years. And I've just trimmed them down to fit into the junk journals. Tucked it in with this recipe card. I like using recipe cards in the junk journals for jotting down recipes or even just journaling on those cards. That piece of paper there is purely for aesthetics, to create a background. I just folded it over the page, and these are actually offcuts from a lot of the different papers that I've used in the journals. But just for aesthetics, I just clipped it over, folded it, and then attached it with a paper clip, and I like the way it looks in that pocket behind the recipe card. That plaid paper, that is one of the paper pads that I purchased. I think it was called All About Plaid, and I bought it late summer at Hobby Lobby. Notice how there's that little gap between the two signatures, and that's just to give you room for your books to expand a little bit. So it gives it room to grow. So if you use large embellishments, it gives room for expansion in your junk journal. Here's another pocket, and I've included a 4x6 gold polka dotted foiled acetate card. This is actually a large American Crafts acetate card that I've had, and I just trimmed them down to 4x6 so that I could sprinkle them throughout all of my junk journals. Another set of tags, and this one features a little metal charm dangling from a garment pen. And this doily is not coffee dyed. So there are two doilies in the junk journals. The first pocket was coffee dyed, and this second one is left as it is white. But those are super, super cute. This envelope is part of a little gift that my sister gave me earlier this year. She did some yard sailing and came across a ton of winter stuff, or stationery, envelopes, papers, tags, and it was a pretty good haul. And so she shared some of that with me, and so I've included that in these junk journals. That is a cute little, that gingerbread matching game card. That came from a matching game that I purchased for my youngest granddaughter. But we've lost several of them, so now I just include them in the junk journals. This is a Regency style envelope. And if you watched my flip through video of the five Christmas junk journal flip through, I'll have that video linked down below. At the end of that video, I show you how I do the Regency fold. And so I invite you to go to watch that. It is a Jane Austen inspired Regency fold, kind of like origami folding. And so if you haven't seen it, I'll link that video. It's the 5 Christmas junk journal flip through, and that'll be in there. Notice there are a lot of blank pages, and I do that intentionally so that you could fill it up with your own treasures, your documenting, your pictures, all of your journaling. So I do embellish some of the pages, but I try not to go overboard so that I leave the rest up to you. A lot of the embellishments that I do include in the junk journals is to hopefully provide you with inspiration so that you have some ideas to create and embellish your own pages. So I hope that these do bring you a lot of inspiration. The center of each junk journal has the ties from the embroidery floss, which I use to bind the signatures, and each will have beads dangling from it. I've included this little holiday greeting card, and I just glued the flap down and then kept the little greeting card in the pocket. Oh, that one's upside down, so let's fix it. And you could reuse this as a greeting card. Of course, you can't use the envelope because it's attached. You could make your own envelope, or you can also journal and document into that little card. This pocket includes a guest check, which has been stamped with a Tim Holtz Santa stamp, and I used red oxide ink for that. And then a coffee dyed postcard. I think I coffee dyed these about 3 years ago. I want to say it was December 2019. I purchased those at Michael's back in 2019, and I still had a few of them left over. Every single tag will have a hole reinforcer, and then we'll also have a nice little ribbon from my ribbon stash. You know, for the longest time, I was just hoarding ribbon. Now, I organize all of my ribbon. They all hang from hangers or embroidery hoops, and I have a shorts video that shows you how I store my ribbons. And now whenever I need ribbon, I just grab my scissors, go to the embroidery hoops or the hangers, and I just start clipping away. I have no problem cutting through my ribbons anymore just because they look so cute in the junk journals. These are also scraps which I cut into triangles to use as embellishments throughout the junk journals, and I just group them together, glue them to the page, and then add some cute little enamel stars to top the top of the triangles to give them the look of a little Christmas tree. This mini file folder also comes from a Tim Holtz die from Physics, released earlier this year. And I added a little card on the inside, which is also part of the same die, except I only die cut the top half of it to use as part of the inside of the mini file folder. And then I embellished with a cute little Santa face. And those are little die cuts that I purchased at Hobby Lobby last year, 2021. Excuse me. I'm going to drink some water. This is a tuck, and I fold over a piece of beautiful cardstock to make 2 tucks. 2 for the price of 1. So you'll have a tuck on both sides. And it is a piece of paper that I cut down to 4 inches wide and then the length of the page. This journal, by the way, measures 8.5 by 6 inches. In fact, they all measure 8.5 by 6 inches, and they have a 2-inch spine. They are all the same. There was one journal in the previous video which ended up having a 2.5-inch spine, a little bit larger than I normally use, but it still looked beautiful. I don't know how that one got past quality control. This is a new feature that I have been including in the junk journals, and it's this Christmas stocking. It's a die from Stampin' Up! That I have had for many, 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 many years. And then I embellish with my favorite white pen. I turn it into a tuck spot, and I add some more of my note paper. That one is so cute. You guys, I love snowmen. I just love snowmen so much. I think they are so cute. And then I also added another little greeting tag, just tags that I've had from my stash. And then the back of each junk journal will feature a vellum envelope. This happens to come from an old Heidi Swapp card kit. The envelope and the inside card, the note card, both from Heidi Swapp. And then I added a little grouping of my little triangle DIY Christmas trees. I added a faux wax seal, which I made from glue gun. And then I just added some little gold wax to it to bring out some of that design. And then the envelope is only glued on 3 sides. And so I tucked in a little piece of beautiful scrapbooking paper so you could see that it is a little tuck spot to the right-hand side. So here is junk journal number 1. If I missed anything, please let me know down below. And I also forgot to mention that I do have the link to my Etsy shop, and that is down below. If you are interested in any of these journals, I invite you to go and look at the inventory on my Etsy shop. Thank you so much. This is junk journal number 2, and this one is Santa with Lantern. Features all of the same beautiful details, the gold stitching, the book corners, the beautiful holiday trim, the fabric on the spine, the detachable dangle. This one happens to be a nutcracker. And then a beautiful little bow, which has been glued to the hinge clip. Heavy duty craft cardstock on the back. And the eyelets, I like to use those really nice wide eyelets from We Are Memory Keepers. So every junk journal will feature the larger eyelets. I think that they add a nice little detail. And here's the bird's eye view of junk journal number 2, where you can see all of the different fibers and threads and ribbons, and also a lot of gold thread and white thread. I didn't cut any of the threads off. I like the look. It gives it like that handmade, homemade look. So I like the addition or just leaving it there. Another one of those beautiful pockets. That is that acetate with the red flocking on it. You know, I've had that for a really long time, and I honestly don't remember where it came from. I'm sure it came from one of the larger craft stores. I just don't remember which one, and I've never seen it again. And I only had 1 sheet, so I'm hoping that I come across some of that because I just love the way it looks. Another one of my signature gingerbread Christmas houses. These are floating pockets. So you can leave it attached, or you can attach it anywhere through the junk journal. It is a floating pocket. So I just love these so much. And I will have more videos with more designs in the future where I work with these envelopes and make even more beautiful little houses. So if you are not subscribed, I invite you to subscribe to my channel so you can see a lot of the content that I have planned for 2023. Thank you so much. A mini envelope embellished. A lot of these journals all share a lot of the same elements, a lot of the same components, and you'll see a lot of similarities. The papers may differ in color, the same with the tags, and I also use different ribbons and trims in some of them. But the overall look of the junk journals are all very similar. They include some of the items that they include, I did have multiples of, so I was able to include in all of them. And here is that mixed media paper journaling card with the oddball Christmas tree girl that has been stamped with archival ink so that you can further embellish it, paint it, color it, however you wish. And this is a vellum, just old vellum from my stash. It was actually from a kit to make wedding invitations that I've had for a long, long, long time. And so these are perfect there. And you can actually use that as a little tuck spot between the vellum and the actual scrapbooking paper page. A lot of 4x6 single-sided scrapbooking papers sprinkled throughout the junk journals. And if I included them so you can use them to further embellish and decorate your pages, or just keep it simple and use it as a backdrop. So if you struggle with a white page, just tuck in a scrapbooking paper and then that's it. Voila! You've decorated your page. I love these center pages. Each of these signatures will have some type of foiling scrapbooking paper, either gold foil or silver foil, with different designs. Some will have clouds, some hearts, others raindrops, whatever I had in my stash. And I like for the center of each signature to bring a little bit of drama to the journals. And so when you get to that center, I want it to sparkle and I want it to shine. And I sure hope that I have accomplished that. More cute little tags. Except for the smaller gift tags, all of the other tags, the number 5 size like this one and the larger ones, and then the little ones which are number 2, those are die cut using the Tim Holtz die. And they all have the reinforcers and they all have the ribbon. Lots of detail in all of the journals. And then a cute little faux shaker pocket or a shaker card with some acetate. And then a sticker embellished with the number 25 for obvious reasons for Christmas Day. Beautiful scrapbooking papers that are the covers of the first and the second signature. I'm really meticulous when it comes to making or building the signatures. I want to make sure that the front covers to the signatures have papers that really stand out, and the same with the centers of each of the signatures. So there's a lot of color, there's a lot of vibrancy, and there's a lot of whimsy also throughout, but there is a method to my madness. I know there's a lot of color throughout, but as I build my signatures in each one of these junk journals, I go through every page, and every page is placed exactly where it needs to be. So there is a lot of thought that goes into building and making these junk journals. And I sure hope you enjoy my flip throughs and that they do provide you with inspiration. So if you are going to make your own junk journals, you can take some of these ideas and, create your own. Another cute little stocking. I had this knitted sweater scrapbooking paper that came in a paper pad that I purchased at, oh my gosh, was it Hobby Lobby? I think it was a Christmas paper pad at Hobby Lobby, and it had that sweater paper. I thought that was so cool. So it looked really nice as a part of the stocking die cut. It looks like it has, textured, so that was really cool. Some of these papers look like old ledger paper, but it's actually scrapbooking paper. And I think that one is Stampin' Up! Paper from, long, long, long ago. My scrapbooking papers are from all over the place, you guys. I've been scrapbooking since the 90s, and I have been collecting scrapbooking paper since then. And I've mentioned in the past that when I first started creating junk journals, I was using junk papers and also papers that I would make, like avocado and coffee dyed papers. But for some reason, in the recent months, I've noticed that I started using a lot more of my scrapbooking papers, and that's because I have a lot of scrapbooking paper, you guys. And even though I still scrapbook, I don't scrapbook as much as I did in the 90s and in the 2000s, early 2000s, but I still do. But I also want to be able to use a lot of my paper stash. And so using it in these junk journals just seemed like the right thing to do. And I love the way they look in all of my junk journals. And even when I've used it in conjunction with old papers, old vintage music papers or old book pages with the scrapbooking papers, new and old scrapbooking papers, because some of these scrapbooking papers are like, I'm not kidding you, about 20 years old. So let's use our stash, you guys. So if you were a scrapbooker at one time, go through your paper stash and create your junk journals and start with that, right? Use a little bit of everything, a little bit of junk, a little bit of store-bought, a little bit from our stash. Why not? More little DIY presents. I did recently discover that there are a couple of dies out there that cut presents. One of them is a Tim Holtz die, which I have on my Christmas wish list. So maybe the lady in quality control will get me a present. And then there's also another one that was featured in a Christina Warner video. And I think it's honeybee stamps. I don't remember because I didn't write it down. But she has a video where she made a Christmas card featuring that die set where she cut out little Christmas presents. And those I discovered after I had cut the little squares. So I might get me one of those dies. Why not? Even though I could cut, squares, but I think it's fun to use dies. The process just goes a lot faster. Okay, here we go. Junk journal number 3. This one is called Santa with Reindeer. And I've added a few little embellishments to the cover, a bow around the reindeer's neck, and then a little gem to Santa's holly, and then a couple of sequins snowflakes. This one also features a nutcracker dangle from the spine, from the hinge. Fabric on the spine, and then more of that heavy-duty craft cardstock. A lot of the same elements, the stitching, the book corners. Some of the book corners are Tim Holtz book corners, and other journals feature metal heart appliques. And like this one has the metal heart appliques on the corners. Beautiful. I love fanning out the pages. They're nice and squishy, and they feel really, really good in your hands, you guys. Nice and sturdy. They're just so beautiful to hold. They look so nice. They look great sitting on a coffee table, on a bookshelf. Maybe you don't like journaling in your junk journals. I am guilty of that as well. So I have purchased a few junk journals from other amazing creators, and I just can't get myself to ink them up with journaling or anything. And so they just live beautifully on one of my bookshelves. But the journals that I make for myself, like Christmas journals or my yearly journals, those I have no problem taking those down and junk journaling in them. So if you are anything like me and you struggle journaling in journals that you purchase, I completely understand because I am guilty of doing the same thing. But you could always use them as part of your decor, Christmas decor. Bring them out, put them on your mantle, put them on your coffee table, on your bookshelves. But I think eventually you'll get to the point where you will, want to document in them. I hope you do. If you have purchased any of my junk journals, I sure hope that you dive right in and start jotting down your notes and adding pictures and all of your own personal ephemera. That would be nice. I missed a little trim on that paper clip, so I'm just going to quickly add some of this beautiful mint colored velvet trim, and I'm going to tie it with some multicolored baker's twine. Just easily do a double tie just so I can clip it on top. And then I did have to bring that up to my face, and so I edited that part out because I couldn't see. So there you go. I go through these journals many times to make sure that I didn't miss anything. And even then, as I'm doing recording the flip through, I always come across something that was missed in quality control. And I've had a meeting with that lady in quality control. She said she would do better. So let's hope she does better in 2023. I just love the little house tags. I just love those so much. And it's too bad that I couldn't find any more at the Dollar Tree, but I'm happy that I'm able to share them with you. Even though they are an inexpensive item, it's a rare inexpensive item. Even though they're from Dollar Tree, I could only find one package. So there you go, sharing them with you. I think I did keep one for myself. Here is the vellum paper that you can use as an upper tuck, and it will hold a note paper, or I'm sure it can hold a photograph, would be nice, tucked in there. Each journal features two of these grouped sets of tags. One of them will have a garment pen with a little jingle bell, and then the second one will feature a little metal charm, either Christmas tree or some mitts, or they just vary depending on what I was able to pull out from my little stash. And it's little metal charms that I've had from Christmases in the past. These are die cuts from Tim Holtz. Well, actually, just the poinsettia. The holly leaves, I hand cut those before I realized that I had a holly leaf die. Can you believe that? So I fussy cut two 12 by 12 sheets of cardstock, just randomly, loosely cut some little holly leaves. And then once I was all done, I remembered I had a Tim Holtz holly die. Oh my gosh. But it was fun. It was pretty easy to cut those holly leaves. So if you don't have a die, just freehand it. You could do it. Remember, the dies were created so that we could mass make, and it just makes the process go a lot smoother, and you can do more. But if we don't have the die, we just need to go back old school and fussy cut. I guess if you don't like fussy cutting, then, get the die. I do both. Another cute vintage replica postcard for my own personal stash. Those I purchased at an antique boutique, but they are only from 2006, but they are beautiful. And I've included one of those in each of the journals. Another offcut that has been added to this page purely for the aesthetic, and I just folded it over and clipped it with a paper clip, tucked it into the pocket, just to give those tags a little backdrop. Just a design element. I have a lot of offcuts. More scraps were created with the making of these journals. More decorated pockets, recipe cards, and a lot of the tags were also made from the offcuts, because a lot of these papers came from 12 by 12 scrapbooking pages, and I had to trim them down so that they would fit the 8.5 by 6 size. So a lot of strips that were about 4 inches wide and 12 inches long. And I was able to cut a lot of the tags from those offcuts. So as I am making embellishments, the pockets, the tucks, I first dive into all of the offcuts and all of the scraps left behind from the pages, so that I can use up those scraps so I'm not left, with so many scraps of paper. So I try to use them up as embellishments. More die cuts from Tim Holtz, the poinsettia, and also that little pine branch come from Tim Holtz dies. Beautiful silver foil paper, and this is what I was talking about, how I want each center of the signatures to bring that little drama. So as you get to the middle, I want it to sparkle and shine, so it's not so drab right in the center. These flip outs, these little envelopes with the greeting card, I embellished using inexpensive stickers. Some from my stash that I've had for a while, and others were labels that I purchased at the Dollar Tree to kind of mimic the look of a stamp. Some of the tucks and the pockets and are not embellished. And just like I mentioned earlier, this gives you the opportunity so that you can add your own embellishments to those pockets and to those tucks. Oh, look here. I did something a little bit different. I ran out of the Heidi Swapp envelopes and cards. My sister gave me 12 by 12 size vellum paper, and I do have an envelope cutter, and I made my own envelope, and I also made my own little note card. And I had one large note card left over from Heidi Swapp. This is it, and I traced it over my own scrapbooking paper, and then I just fussy cut around it to give it that same look, because I love the look and the design of that note card, and then just tucked it into my little DIY envelope. I mean, I was really lucky that I had that old card kit from Heidi Swapp, but I knew that I would eventually run out. And so I was so happy when my sister gave me these 12 by 12 sheets of paper, because I needed that size to make these large envelopes. So thank you, sister. So this is junk journal number 3. Oh, it's so beautiful, so cute, the cute little reindeer face. And this is junk journal number 4. And this one is polar bear. It is a polar bear, right? Yes, polar bear. And I've added a couple of the sequence snowflakes. It has the Tim Holtz book corners, and then a hinge with a beautiful green velvet bow. And now look at this chipboard tag. I used some similar to this last year in 2021 to make when I was making junk journals. And here's one left over that I have kept for myself. And I bought these at a cute boutique in Salt Lake City. And I didn't get a chance to go up to Salt Lake City. I really wanted more of these. But guess where I found this one, this Holly Jolly one? I found those on Walmart.com. What? So I bought a few. And it's so similar to the ones that I bought at the boutique in Salt Lake. So that was a nice find. And so I ordered some. I just love, it's like a faux wood. It's like a laminate chipboard. But I just love it. And so if you purchased one of my junk journals from Christmas last year, Christmas 2021, you would have received one of those cute little rectangular faux wooden tags, which I love. That's why I kept one for myself. I actually took it off of my own personal Christmas junk journal so I could show you and have you see side by side that they are so similar. So those were at Walmart. Look at that beautiful gold foil music paper, which is lining the inside of the junk journal. I used some of my most favorite foil papers to line the inside of the journals. And then also, well, they're all my favorite papers, you guys. Every single item that is in these junk journals, I have to absolutely love. It has to be my favorite. But my most favorite ones will line the inside cover, and then will also be used for the covers of the signatures, and then again in the center of the signatures. So that's where I really want the most drama, is in those areas. And here is another floating pocket. This one I embellished with a little sticker on the back. The backs are left somewhat plain so that you can journal on the back of those cards as well, if you wanted to. They each feature a nice little prayer card. And I love this brick paper. So cute, just random from my stash. The same with this script paper, also from my stash. So the only new papers here would be the plaid papers. That black and white. Is that like a buffalo plaid? Is that what that's called? Cute little door. I used a lot of different trims in all kinds of different colors. When you go through these pages, I want them to cheer you up. I want the colors to make you happy. I've used all the colors of the rainbow. I want these to exude happiness and cheer and joy, and almost like a piñata just exploded, with happiness. That's what I want these journals to relay, the feeling of joy and happiness, and I want them to bring a smile to your face. See this little charm? Those are a couple of little jingle bells. The beads in all of the center pages or that are dangling from the embroidery floss, they're all the same in the journals. I made sure that I used the same beads in each journal, and so you'll see that they're all the same. Please let me know what you think down below. If you like my flip through, and if you have a second, just give me a thumbs up. If you love the journals, you can leave me a comment down below and let me know what your favorite part is. And if you really, really, really love it, if you don't mind sharing this with a friend so they can watch it as well, I would really appreciate that. Thank you so much. I hope you are all having a wonderful holiday season. I can't believe that we are almost at the end of the year. Well, we practically are. I mean, Christmas is just around the corner, and then we will be bringing in the new year, 2023. Let me know what you plan for 2023. Are there any special projects that you are looking forward to making, or trying something new for the very first time that is, paper craft related? I'd love to know. Have you made junk journals? Have you tried making them? Will you be making them for the first time? If you have any questions about any of these junk journals, if I have missed mentioning anything, please leave me your comment or your question down below. I reply to all of my comments or all of the questions as soon as I possibly can. This was a single sheet of scrapbooking paper. I remember where I got that one. I bought that single sheet at Joann's. Sometimes you find your favorite single sheet of scrapbooking paper and you just wish you could find a whole paper pad of the same thing. I am that person. When I find one single sheet of scrapbooking paper that I love, I wish it came in a paper pad where I could purchase 100 of them, I am that person. I am a creature of habit, you guys. This one, I did the center a little bit different. I didn't use little, what are they called? Oh my gosh, my mind just went blank. The little scrappy tucks. It's not called a scrappy tuck. But I didn't use one of those in the middle of the signature. I used a corner tuck for that and then added a little deer embellishment. Oh my gosh, what are they called? Cluster tucks? That doesn't sound right either, but you know what I'm talking about. The ones that are made from just little strips of junky papers just kind of stitched together. I've used those in the other signatures, in the middle of the signatures, but now I can't remember what it's called. Anyway, I tried to do something different with this one. That number 25, I die cut from an old Stampin' Up die, numbers die. Then I added a little ho 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 tag there with a single-sided 4x6 scrapbooking paper and another mini file folder. If you want to know where anything is from, just let me know down below and I'm happy to let you know. I try to remember to list the items that I've used in the description area below, but then I forget. If I do, just ask me below. Oh, here's something else I want to mention. I do have an Amazon storefront link. I am now an Amazon affiliate, so I do have a link for my storefront. And so if you would like to go take a look at that, I do feature a lot of the products that I have personally used and I have purchased. So if you are curious, just click on that link. And I do have to let you know that if you do make a purchase for my Amazon link, I do earn a small commission, which in no way affects you whatsoever. And if you do purchase from that link, thank you in advance. I appreciate you very much. Another DIY envelope with a fussy cut note card. Oh, look, I missed something here. I missed the little grouping of my little triangle trees. So let's quickly add some. I'm going to grab a couple of triangles. And I say triangles because that's basically what I did. I just cut triangles from the scrapbooking papers or the scraps and offcuts that I had. So I'm just going to add two really quick. And I'm using a new glue. And this is called, it's the Ultimate Glue by Crafter's Pick. And I'm really, really loving this glue, you guys. And can you believe I've almost gone through this whole bottle with these 13 junk journals that I've recently made. But this glue is really good. I'm also out of art glitter glue. I went through, finished it. No more. It is gone. And so this has been a nice substitute. It's nice and thick like tacky glue, but it dries and it grabs everything like glass and plastic and metal. And so I really, really like it. In fact, this is the glue that I used to attach the ribbon to the hinge clip on the spines of each of the junk journals. It is a fast grab and it dries clear. So it's really good. I don't recommend it too much on fabric because it seeps through and it stays tacky. But yet when you use it on anything else like paper or little metal or glass embellishments, it dries clear and with no tack. So now I am just going to add one of these cute little epoxy star stickers to the tops of my little triangles. And by doing that, now they look like little Christmas trees. Super cute, you guys, and super easy. And one of the reasons I did little triangle trees is because I do not have a Christmas tree die. Like I have one from Tim Holtz, which is super fine and intricate, but I wanted like solid trees and I didn't have one. So I just did the next best thing, which is cut little triangles. So super easy. And now I'm going to add some Tim Holtz words to that. And this is from the Christmas words sticker booklet. Add a little bit of glue just to make sure that it is stuck on there forever. Super easy way to embellish your pages with some scraps. Just a little DIY embellishment. I'm trying not to use baby wipes anymore. In fact, I haven't bought baby wipes in many, 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 many months. I just use my little yellow towels, and I have one that is wet and one that is dry, and that seems to be working just fine, and it creates less waste. I'm going to add a clothespin in just a second. I don't want the flap from the envelope to adhere to glue down in case there's a little bit of glue seeping there. So I'm going to create a little barrier just to keep it from sticking to the page. And there it is, you guys, junk journal number 4. Oh my gosh, this one's almost going to make me lose my voice. This was a long video and I tried to go as fast as I possibly could. I hope you have enjoyed it. And you guys, thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you guys so much. I hope you have a wonderful Christmas. Lots of hugs, lots of love to each and every one of you. Thank you so much for being here. Without you, I would not be here. So again, all of the information for these journals will be linked down below. And if you have any questions, please feel free and let me know. You guys are awesome. You guys take care. Much love to you.